Good afternoon, sir. My name is Mona Lisa Wanigo. The topic that I'm going to present today is about e-commerce, digital markets, digital goods. For food, burgers go social. The business challenge facing for food is that it needs a way to stand out amid 20,000 other restaurants in New York City. For food uses social networking and mobile technology, including Twitter, Foursquare, and Facebook to attract customers. This restaurant has multiple options for placing an order. For food stands out as it uses crowdsourcing for both marketing and menu development. E-commerce and social networking technology introduce new opportunities to forge ties with the customers and for distinguishing product and services. For food also is able to differentiate itself from other restaurants and promote the business in the very low cost. Next is e-commerce and the internet. E-commerce refers to the use of the internet and the web to transact business. More formally, e-commerce is about digitally enabled to commercial transactions between and among organizations and individuals. For the most part, this means transactions that occur over the internet and the website. Commercial transactions involve the exchange of value across organizational or individual boundaries in return for product and services. The new e-commerce, social, mobile, and local, the e-commerce revolution is still unfolding. Individuals and businesses will increasingly use the internet to conduct commerce as more products and services come online and households switch to broadband telecommunications. More industries will be transformed by e-commerce, including travel reservation, music and entertainment, news, software, education, and finance. Next is unique features of internet and web as commercial medium. First is ubiquity, available everywhere at all times. E-commerce is ubiquitous, meaning it is available just about everywhere at all times. It makes it possible to shop from your desktop, at home, at work, or even from your car using mobile commerce. The result is called a marketplace. A marketplace extended beyond traditional boundaries and removed from its temporal and geographical location. From a consumer point of view, ubiquity reduces transaction cost, the cost of participating in a market. To transact business, it is not longer necessary that you spend time or money traveling to a market, and much less mental effort is required to market a purchase. Next is global search, global reach. Technology reaches across national boundaries around the earth. Global reach, e-commerce technology permits commercial transactions to across cultural and national boundaries far more conveniently and cost effectively than is true in traditional commerce. In contrast, most traditional commerce is local or regional. It involves local merchant or national merchant with local outlets. National networks that can attract a national audience but not easily cross national boundaries to a global audience. Number 3 is universal standards. One set of technology standards, internet standards. The universal technical standards of internet and e-commerce greatly lower market entry costs. The cost merchant must pay simply to bring their goods to market. At the same time, for consumers, universal standards reduce reach costs, the effort required to find suitable product. Next is richness, supports videos, audio, and text messages. Richness information refers to the complexity and content of message. Traditional market, national sales forces, and small retail stores have great richness. They are able to provide personal face-to-face service using oral and visual cues than making a sale. The richness of traditional markets makes them powerful selling or commercial environments. Next is interactivity. The technology works through interaction with the users. E-commerce technologies are interactive, meaning they allow for two-way communication between merchant and consumer. Television or instance cannot ask viewers any questions or enter into conversation with them, and it cannot request that consumer information be entered into a form. In contrast, all of those activities are possible on e-commerce website. Interactivity allows an online merchant to engage a consumer in ways similar to a face-to-face experience but on a massive global scale. Next is information density, large amount and quality information available to all market participants. Information density in e-commerce markets make prices and costs more transparent. Price transparency refers to the ease with which consumers can find out the variety of prices in a market. Cost transparency refers to the ability of consumers to discover the actual cost merchants pay for product. Next is personalization and customization. Technology permits modification. E-commerce technology permits personalization. Merchants can target their marketing messages to specific individuals by adjusting the message to a person's name, internets, and past purchases. The technology also permits customization, changing the delivered product or service based on a user's preferences or prior behavior. The result in a level of personalization and customization unthinkable with traditional commerce technologies. For instance, you may be able to shape what you see in television by selecting a channel, but you cannot change the content of the channel you have chosen. And lastly is social technology. Promotes user content generation and social networking. Social technology, user content generation, and social networking in contrast to previous technologies, the internet and e-commerce technologies have evolved to be much more social by allowing users to create and share with their personal friends content in the form of text, videos, music, or phones. Using this form of communication, users are able to create new social networks and strengthen existing ones. Next is the key concept in e-commerce. First is information asymmetry. Information asymmetry exists when one party in a transaction has more information that is important for the transaction than the other party. That information helps determine the relative bargaining power. In digital markets, customers and suppliers can see the price is being charged for goods, and in that sense, digital markets are said to be more transparent than traditional markets. Second is uh, offers greater flexibility and efficiency. Digital markets are very flexible and efficient because they operate with reduced reach and transaction costs, lower menu costs, greater price discrimination, and the ability to change prices dynamically based on market conditions. In dynamic pricing, the price of product varies depending on the demand characteristic of the customer or the supplier situation of the seller. Third is stronger network effects. The network effect is a phenomenon whereby increased numbers of people or participants improve the value of good for service. The internet is an example for the network effect. Initially, there were few users on internet since it was of little value to anyone outside of the military and some research scientists. Next is may delay gratification or increase switching costs and may delay gratification. These new digital markets may either reduce or increase switching costs depending on the nature of the product or service being sold, and they may cause some extra delay in gratification, I mean. Unlike a physical market, you can immediately consume a product such as clothing purchased over the web, although immediate consumption is possible with digital music downloads and other digital products. Increased market segmentation. Segmentation is a power technique for marketing to your e-commerce customers by dividing your email list into smaller groups based on demographic, psychographic, or geographic location. You can create more personalized messaging. In turn, this segmentation can result in higher engagement and conversation rates. Next is more disintermediation. The removal of organizations or business prices layers responsible for immediate steps in a value chain is called disintermediation. Next is digital goods. Goods that can be delivered over digital networks such as music, tracks, videos, software, newspapers, and ebooks. In general, for digital goods, the marginal cost of producing another unit is about zero. However, the cost of producing the original first unit is relatively high. In fact, it is nearly to the total cost of the product because there are few other costs of inventory and distribution costs for delivery over internet are very low. Marketing costs remain the same. The pricing can be highly variable. The merchant can change prices as often as desired because of low menu cost. Marketing costs remain the same, pricing highly variable. Industries with digital goods are undergoing revolutionary changes. Publishers records levels. Next is types of e-commerce. First is business to business Business to consumer. Electronic commerce involves retailing product and services to individual shoppers. Barnesandnoble.com, which sell books and software and music to individual consumers, is an example of B2C e-commerce. The example for this is Barnesandnoble.com, Lazada, Shopee, Grab, and Angkas. Business to business. Electronic commerce involves sale of goods and services among businesses. ChemConnect's website for buying and selling commercials and plastics is an example of business to business. Next is consumer to consumer. Electronic commerce involves consumer selling directly to consumers. For example, eBay, the giant web auction site, enables people to sell their goods to other consumers by auctioning their merchandise off to the highest bidder or for a fixed price. Next is e-commerce business model. First is portal. The portal business model provides a destination site where users start their web searching and linger to read news, find entertainment, and meet other people and be exposed to advertising. Portals generate revenue primarily by attracting very large audiences, charging advertisers for ad placement, collecting referral fees for steering customers to other sites, and charging for premium services. Example of these are Google, Bing, Yahoo, MNS, and AOL. Next is a tailor. Online tailor stores, often called e-tailers, come in all sizes from giant Amazon. An e-tailor is similar to the typical bricks and mortar storefront, except that customers only need to connect to the internet to check their inventory and place an order. Next is content provider. Content is defined broadly to include all forms of intellectual property. Intellectual property refers to all forms of human expression that can be put into a tangible medium such as text, CDs, DVDs, or stored on any digital or other media, including the web. Content providers distribute information content such as digital videos, music, photos, text, and artwork over the web. The value proposition of online content providers is that consumers can find a wide range of content online conveniently and purchase this content inexpensively to be played or viewed on multiple computer devices or smartphones. Other example for this is podcasting and streaming. Next is transaction broker. Sites that process transaction for consumers normally handled in person, by phone or by email, or transaction brokers. The largest industries using this model are financial services and travel services. Next is market creator. Market creator build a digital environment in which buyers and sellers can meet, display product, search for product, and establish prices. Online auction markets like eBay and Priceline are good example of market creator business model. Another example is Amazon's merchant platform and similar programs at eBay, where merchants are allowed to set up stores or Amazon's website and sell goods at fixed prices to consumers. Next is service provider. Service provider offer services online. There's been an explosion in online services, web application, photos sharing, and online site for data backup and storage, all use of service provider business model. Software is no longer a physical product with a CD in a box, but increasingly software as a service that you subscribe to online rather than purchase from a retailer. And next is community provider. Community providers are sites that create a digital online environment where people with similar interests can transact, share interests, uh, photos, videos, communicate with like-minded people, receive interest-related information, and even play out fantasies by adopting online personalities called avatars. The social networking sites Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And the last part is e-commerce revenue models. Advertising revenue model. In the advertising revenue model, a website generates revenue by attracting a large audience of visitors who can then be exposed to advertisement. The advertising model is the most widely used revenue model in e-commerce, and arguably without advertising revenues, the web should be the vastly different experience from what is now. Content of the web. Everything from news to videos and options is free to visitors because advertisers pay the production and distribution costs in return for the right to expose web visitors to ads. Websites with the largest viewership or that attract a highly specialized, differentiate viewership and are able to retain user attention, are able to charge higher advertising rates. And next is sale revenue model. In the sales revenue model, companies derive revenue by selling goods, information, or services to customers. Apple has pioneered and strengthened the acceptance of payments. Micropayment system provide content providers with a cost-effective method for pricing high volumes of very small monetary transactions. And next is subscription revenue models. In the subscription revenue models, a website offering content or services charges a subscription fee for access to some or all of its offerings on an ongoing basis. Content providers often use this revenue model. For instance, the online revenue of consumer reports provides access to premium contents, such as detailed ratings, reviews, and recommendations only to subscribers who have a choose of paying a $5.95 monthly subscription and free or a $26 annual fee. Next is freemium revenue models. In the freemium revenue models, firms offers basic service or content for free, while charging a premium for advanced or special features. For example, Google offers free applications but charges for premium services. Next is transaction fee revenue model. In the transaction fee revenue model, a company service a fee for enabling or executing a transaction. For example, eBay provides an online auction marketplace and receives a small transaction fee from a seller if the seller is successful in selling an item. E-Trade, an online stockbroker, receives transaction fees each time it executes a stock transaction on behalf of a customer. And the last is affiliate revenue model. In the affiliate revenue model website, send visitors to other website in return for a referral fee or percentage of the revenue from any resulting sales. Community feedback sites such as Opinion, Opinions and Yelp receive much of the revenue from steering potential customers to website where they make a purchase. That's all, sir. The continuation of my report is to be presented by Ms. Loma. Thank you.